Security is a vital factor for every nation. Remember, the people have to be protected, the country has to be protected, the nation's resources have to be protected. Today, I bring for you the top 10 African countries with the most feared military strength. Straight up, I go with none other than Libya. Now, Libya is one of those countries with the most feared military strength. And guess what? In 2011, Libya revolution placed a big question mark on military capabilities of a country with a population of about 6 million only. Now, only 3 million citizens, I beg your pardon, are fit to service or for service, and just about 1,000 or 116,000 people reach the service age each year. But these small numbers concentrate quite oppositely with the artillery. Now, let's get down to the equipment. Right here, you can see that Libya boasts about 500 tanks and then 2,500 armored fighting vehicles, then 400 self-propelled guns, 800 rocket projectors, then 1050 portable AT weapons, then over 600 aircraft and 121 helipads. Not forgetting an $880 million pumped into the defense each year. That is number 10 for you. Let's go to number 9. Number 9, we have Angola. Now, Angola is the seventh largest country in Africa with a population of about 21 million people and is located in southern Africa. Now, these are three components of the Angolan military. That is the army. We are talking about the army, as you can see it right there. And let's talk about the equipment, which is also divided in about 7,000 active frontline personnel and 30,000 active reserve personnel. Now, Angola has about 140 tanks, then 980 armored fighting vehicles, then 298 towered artillery, then 270 total of the aircraft, 98 helipads with 15 attack helicopters and 82 fighters. The country's naval strength is boosted with about 30 coastal defense crafts. We are talking the top 10 African countries with feared military strength. That is number 9 for you. Why don't we go straight to number 8? Now, number 8, we have Angola. Tunisia, I beg your pardon. Tunisia is the northern most African country right there, and it has over 10 million people. There are almost 5 million people who are fit to serve. Yes, that is about 5.7 million available manpower. The number of active frontliner personnel stands for about 40,000 with additional 12,000 active reserve personnel. Now, one may be wondering, what equipment does Tunisia have right here? Now, Tunisia boasts of about 350 tanks, then 900 armored fighting vehicles, then 139 total aircraft, then 75 helipads with 12 fighters, then interceptors, then 25 coastal defense aircraft, all backed over with 550 million US dollars defense budget per year. We go straight to number 7. Number 7, we are talking Morocco. Now, Morocco is a kingdom kind of country located in the northern region of Africa with a population of over 33 million people. Now, the country's military arm, known as the Royal Moroccan Armed Forces, is responsible for the land-based military operations. You could be wondering, do they really have what it takes? Look at that. Very organized army. It is the fact that it has a kingdom kind of stuff. Now, Morocco has also that navy, the navy, then the air force, the royal guard, the royal gendarmerie, then the auxiliary forces. Now, there are about 17 million available manpower with over 14 million fit for service. Now, when we get to 195,000 people in active front line, we talk a total of about 139 helicopters, then 70 coastal defense aircraft with a defense budget of about 3.4 billion US dollars. Let's talk country 6 in the position 6. We're talking top 10 African countries with feared military strength. Now let's talk Kenya. Kenya is a major commercial and technology hub in East Africa, officially called the Republic of Kenya. The country has a population of about 41 million residents. When you talk about its defense, Kenya is a force to reckon with. The country has enough military strength to afford to always send some on a peacekeeping mission in other African countries. Now, almost 20 million people make up the country's manpower, and more than 12 million of these are fit for service. Let's talk the 839,000 rich military every year. We talk about military, that's what we mean. Now, Kenya has 24,000 active frontline and 5,000 active reserve personnel and boasts of about 186 tanks, 2,000 armored fighting vehicles, and about 134 total aircrafts. 66 helipads, 14 coastal defense crafts, with a defense budget of about 5 billion US dollars by this year 2018. That is country number 6 for you. We are talking top 10 African countries, and to present it to you is none other than Dennis, the Business for Africa Social TV. Let's talk country number 5 in the position here for the top 10 African countries with feared military strength, and we're talking Nigeria. Now, when we talk Nigeria, right there, Nigeria is located at the shores of West Africa, and it's the country that has the home to the staggering over 185 million people with the available manpower of about 72 million people. Let's talk the militia right here. Nigeria has about 363 tanks, 680 towed artillery, and more than 1,400 armored fighting vehicles. When we talk about the vehicles, now this is what we mean for Nigeria. Look at that. Nigeria has 96 total aircrafts and 36 helipads, 51 coastal defense crafts, and 2 mine warfare. And now the population for its the budget for its defense budget, we're talking 2.3 billion US dollars. Let's talk country in the position of number 4 here of the top 10 African countries with feared military. Well, as you can see, most of these African countries, you might wonder, really, what do they really have? Yes, they are equally equipped and trained to defend their population real quick. Yeah, so we are talking country position number 4, and it's none other than South Africa, with the most feared military right here in Africa. Now, the Republic of South Africa is an African country located in the southern tip of the continent, with about 54 million people. When it comes to military power, South Africa has got it, and it has got what it takes. Now, half of South Africa's population are within the manpower class. About 14 million are fit for service, and almost a million people, that's about, let's give it 970,000, are getting to military age annually. But the question is, are they really interested in military? Let's talk the equipment right here. South Africa has over 88,000 active frontline and 17,000 active reserve personnel. That is a whooping over a population of the army right there. So on the military equipment, South Africa has about 191 tanks and 1430 armored fighting vehicles, then 118 self-proclaimed propelled guns. Let's talk the rocket projectors. There are 240 and 213 total number of the aircrafts right here. Now, when we talk the frigates, for those of you who understand the army equipment, and then the 13 submarines, just to keep the shore safe. Now, let's look at the budget for South Africa when it gets to its military. Now, it has a budget of about 4.6 billion US dollars spent on defense every year. We are doing a countdown right here. So let's get to number 3. Who could number 1 be? You can get to the commentary section. Let me know what you think. Let's talk country Ethiopia in position 3. Totally surprising. Now, Ethiopia has a population of 94.1 million people, quite a number. It is Africa's oldest independent country, and with a manpower of about 38 million people, 24 million of this population fit for service. Let's talk the equipment that it has. It has about 560 tanks and 780 armored vehicles. Now, about 183 multi-launch rocket system, call them the MLRS, 81 aircrafts and 39 helipads to hover just around the country. That is the central business districts of Ethiopia. The entire Ethiopia's defense is supported by 182,500 frontline personnel and over 340,000 dollars that is, I beg your pardon, 340,000 US dollars for the defense budget. Now, Ethiopia is not just alone. When you look at its equipment, you just don't give it to Ethiopia, but it is equipped. Look at a lineage over the army right there, just getting ready to defend its nation. Now, you might be wondering which country is in position number 2 and number 1. You will be surprised. Now, Algeria. We have Algeria right here. Algeria is a country consisting of about 48 provinces and 141 communes. Where? When you get to the population of about 20 million people that make up the manpower and 17 million citizens are within the active service, yeah. When you talk about the Algerian military, it's made of the modern army, the navy, and the air force. The country is largely financed by oil, so it needs lots of protection. The country is largely, obviously, also the largest company in Africa, generating revenues in excess of about 76.1 billion and employing over 120,000 people. That was by the year 2012. Let's talk its militia right there. There are over 500,000 active frontline. Yeah, we are talking country Algeria right here, and it has those choppers. Yeah. When you talk about 1,800 armored fighting vehicles with over 400 aircrafts, about 100